Ever live a life that's real, full of zest, but no appeal? Ever had to really cry, cry so much you want to die? Ever feel like you've been had so much that you turn mad? Ever been so depressed that those who turn to you bring distress? I have. It's all because of an accursed video game television episode hybrid that pulled down his pants, took a whiz and a dookie all over my face, and buzzed around in a bloody blue circle as if it was Sonic the Hedgehog, rolled up in a ball, twisting and turning in anticipation, blazing through the act and torching every mechanical enemy in his path. Or so it may as well have. There is no training program in this life, boys and ghouls, to prepare you for the horrors, the extremes, the moral depravity that is Grand Theft Auto Plus. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Having once been a working class gentleman from England, migrating from my jolly old homeland to the very merry streets of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, I am accustomed to all sorts of core blimey toil and trouble. But this son of a biscuit took the cake, grasped hold of it, and defecated on happy birthday and dripping brown something or other who frickin' cares font. Or happy on birthday. Dang it, I promised myself I was going to talk about Vor. How did I get the game? It arrived in my mailbox and had no sender address on it. It was simply addressed to dear old me. Oliver Charles, then my address, which you may have learned if you've been sticking your cameras and doohickeys hither and thither in an attempt to feed me a paranoia frenzy. But that was all. Nothing more, nothing less. I ripped open the package, popped the disc in my pristine PlayStation Deuce tray, and hoped to any and every celestial body above that what I was about to play was a gift from somebody, and not a polygonal curse. Like that time I downloaded Rule 34 of Lara Croft and the triangle knockers were rendered lifelike. Anyway, the game began with the Grand Theft Auto logo, a plus sign covered in what looked like liquid aids, and a picture of bloody filthy lucre. That wasn't the Grinch. That wasn't the Grinch at all. That was That was the bloody frickin' Cookie Monster from Sesame Street, painted green, trying his hardest to scowl and failing miserably. Some monster you are, I proclaimed in the King's English, thrusting my controller at the screen because I have multiple personality related disorders. The screen blew up and fierce embers exploded outside of the CRT bubble television screen, setting my coffee table and delicate mini poodle Mr. Winston's hair's on fire. I trotted towards the kitchen, grabbed a bucket of ice, and heaved it at the television set doing the ice bucket challenge. Oh, it stopped working, but at least the fire was out. After smashing the dial-in with a baseball bat a few or perhaps several dozen times, the screen loaded back up. The Cookie Monster's corpse was on full display, as well as a hand that was stuck up its butthole because it's a puppet, and that's how you do puppeteering, apparently. Severed hand. The Grand Theft Auto logo fell down and decapitated the Cookie Monster, with sacks of grapes exploding out of his neck and fermenting the screen into red wine. I looked at it and felt a little bit dizzy. This game was getting me intoxicated. Bloody core, blimey bullocks, kidney pie, strawberry puke, lederhosen. At least the game started up now. I was the Grinch, and the game's graphics were the blandest two-dimensional dog do I had ever seen, as if they had been rendered by LJN for the 8-bit Nintendo Entertainment System. The controls were worse than Action 52, if you know what this is. I'm old. Anyway, my drug dealer friend got famous ripping on it. With up being down, left being right, and when I pressed start, the Grinch vomited all over the floor along with pausing the frickin' game. Let me tell you, friend, upon unpausing, the Cersei green puke chunks remained, and it severely hindered the gameplay as I tried to jump over the pits and spikes and I don't know, for For a children's game about stealing Christmas, sure came off like something out of someone's BDSM dungeon. Mm. I was just about to study how to restart the fire mechanism for my TV and burn down the house when the game flickered out in it. It was. What? It was a cartoon? The words Grand Theft Auto PSA smoking is bad for you flashed on screen in neon red and white as Sam I Am and that other guy from Green Eggs and Ham could be seen running around a lifeless black background. But instead of proffering him green eggs and ham, it was. What? What in the bloody hell was this? Sam I Am hijacked the key and ran the other guy over, picking up his lifeless body by the neck, and he shoved an entire pack of Camel cigarettes into his frickin' mouth. Happy Hop Day! Sam I Am exclaimed, for pulling a TNT detonation plunger. Whatever the other guy's name is, his corpse exploded into red, white, and blue fireworks. A scene of the Lorax hugging a tree that then picked him up with contorted, sadistic branches and devoured him whole with vicious-looking bear-like molars was shown as You Got a Friend in Me from those bloody American Toy Story films began to blare in the background at maximum volume. Except that the lyrics were You Got to Fend With Me, as every Dr. Seuss character imaginable, from the Cat in the Hat down to Thidwick the big-hearted moose, was shown shooting each other in the face with machine guns, waving around American flags, while the presumed wives watched on eating hamburgers and hot dogs and lying down on blankets as if it was a bloody Bullock's 4th of July picnic. What in the devil was this maleficent delusion that dared to present itself as a wholesome animation? Dr. Seuss himself appeared as a sun, as if he was some kind of sun god, and doused everything to death with sun rays before the Grinch game returned. But this time the controls actually worked. The music was reasonably good, despite being 8-bit chiptune stuff playing on a PlayStation 2, but I digress. And there was actual attention to the graphics details, like a cherry on an ice cream mountain and a massive wart on the Grinch's right ass cheek. I almost had a moment of fun before the Grinch turned around and stared me right in the face, as if he knew precisely who he was talking to. Oliver, old Grinchy began, I remember all the times you watched my film. You covered your ears at the part in which I learned to be a good citizen because you could never see yourself rooting for the Grinch if he wasn't a bad guy. But look at me, brother. Times have changed. I'm collecting presents because I plan on redistributing them later when I climb down the chimneys as Santa. Even Max is going to get himself a plasticine fire hydrant to piss on. He's such a good boy. The Grinch wagged his 8-bit finger at me. The wagging animation was kind of impressive, though again, generations off for the console I was playing the game on. Don't you understand, Ollie? Don't you understand? Who even gifted you this game? You're not my father! I instinctively screamed, realizing that the Grinch was indeed my father. I shaved my fuzzy green armpits every morning because the 5 o'clock shadow comes in by 2:30. Regardless, I was playing this game to steal Christmas, not to save it. You should have looked at the graphic art a little closer, dipshite. Oh, crap, he was right. It did say save Christmas, not stole. I just did that thing where you read too fast to pay attention to details and allow your brain to fill in the details, I guess. I turned the game off and summoned Pan the Goat God, who set the TV, PlayStation 2, video game, and my entire house on fire. I heated up what you Americans call marshmallow s'mores and reminisced about the time Colonel Dodo told the Mafia that I was a double-crosser and they hacked into all my computers and phone. I went to work. My neighbors questioned my lack of a roof or, walls. I told them to shut up, usual. A few weeks later, I got another package in the mail, but this time there was a return address. Or at least a name. Satan. A package from my boss? Oh, goody! I ripped open the game and it was a blank DVD. I threw it into my PlayStation 3 and I loaded up Noel Edmonds from Deal or No Deal UK, slowly eating a lemon meringue pie for several minutes, licking his fingers and laughing at the contestant because she got stuck with the penny. A bunch of elephants wearing top hats and waving batons in their trunks stomped on all the other contestants, while Noel laughed his usual vicious scoff and told the other lady should consider herself fortunate. Or fortunate, as he says. That was when it all hit me. You see, the contestant truly was fortunate. Money means something, but only so much, because what really matters in life are the little things and virtues, like donating to children on weekends and not hijacking your friend's car radio with random car noise MP3s that attempt to get them falsely diagnosed as schizophrenic. Holidays such as Christmas give us the opportunity to give and receive, with receiving being an act of giving as well, no matter how small the gift. When the person offering us stuff sees just how deeply we care about their efforts, even if it's just socks or a tie or a copy of Batman and Robin on DVD and a $5 Applebee's gift certificate, we need to be there for others. They need to be there for us. And at that moment, the local police sped up to my domicile and whacked me in the head with an expandable baton. Typical Philadelphia. When I woke up, I was in prison for violating the homeowners association rules by not replacing my walls, roof, and windows having burnt down. I told them it was all the video games / cartoons' fault, and they let me off on good behavior. Now, I'd like to tell you that's the whole story, my good friend. When I got back home, my father was there, and in case you've forgotten, my father is the frickin' Grinch. He asked me what I got him for Christmas, and I produced a neglected plum pit out of my trouser pocket, which he celebrated with glee that I had even thought of him. I suppose this is a happy ending. I don't really mind being rained and snowed on because, again, I lived in England once, so I'm used to it. But what I will say is that this game, or at least the first part of it, is absolutely horrible. It caused me nightmares. And the odds of me ever going anywhere near a PlayStation 2 video game console, or an NES for that matter, are next to nothing. With all that said, there is one more thing that I have to tell you, and that is Happy Bloody Christmas.